Hey guys, today we are going to be looking at Transformers Generation 1 uh Dreadwind. Right? Yes, Dreadwind. Um so here he is, and he is a Power Master, so you can see his little guy here. I think his name is High Tech or something along the lines of that. I don't really know his name. High Tech something, or something along those lines. High something. It starts with a T. I can't remember what exactly it is. But so we'll first look at the Power Master, and then we'll just skim over a couple things in the plane mode. So this is the little Power Master, like High Tech or whatever his name is. I can't remember. And he is like a lizard monster. You can see his head. He's a little lizard thing. So yeah, doesn't really have any articulation, really. He just has his arms, and yet they can't really go forward. They only go forward, and so you can't really do too much with him. These joints are a little loose, but he's being transformed on those joints. So yeah, there is little Power Master. Obviously has the engine like mold on his back. So yeah, put him off the side. So here is Dreadwind himself. I really like the colors of this guy. The teal, the gray, the purple, and the like white. Yeah, I'd say white, not really deep enough to be like beige or like sand color. So yeah, mine is missing the nose cone. It was just like broken off, and he's missing his guns. But I got this guy for $30 at a flea market. Obviously, a little bit of paint on the missiles is wearing off, and the stickers are in decent shape, not perfect, but they're probably better than a lot of other G1 toys that I have. I know it's better than a couple that I have. And he has, unless I were to like turn the hands, like if I turn the hands, but really other than the hands, he has a very, very clean undercarriage. Obviously not perfect, but he definitely has a very good, nice one. Like, he doesn't have a lot of junk underneath of him. And this guy, so his plane mode looks very nice, obviously. I really like the big thruster at the back. I just think it's funny and cool and stuff. But yeah, I like that how the way his transformation works very heavily helps the plane mode not have a lot of kibble. Obviously, all this is kibble, but it's not. You can't tell that this is a robot. Obviously, if you know who he is, you can see that these are his legs and these are his shoulders. But he hides it very well. It's not, obviously you can see what all this stuff is, but he's hiding it better than like Starscream and Thundercracker, where you just turn them upside down and you see their torso, and oh, that's going to be a robot torso. When like this, really, you can only just tell the hands if you were to just look at it just regularly. And I like the way, and that'll play into his fun and different transformations. So, and I like these little like front gray wings, and sometimes I forget that they're there. So so let's go ahead into the transformation. So if you don't know anything about Power Masters and you happen to be watching this guy, the Power Master, or in Japan, God Masters, and this guy, Dreadwind, got redecoed with mainly red and like more gray, I think, into Buster. Really, I can't really describe how he is, but I really like the deco of it. Even though it's the exact same toy of this, I almost like that deco more than this one. But whatever. you take your Power Master, or if you're working with a Japanese toy, a God Master, but typically they fold in half. Well, they're not in half, but their legs come up, and he has some little nubs that just nest themselves in the hole in the shoulder where it's connected to the body, like so. Obviously, like Double Dealer, I can't remember the name of the bat, but obviously he's going to be a little different than just the plain guys. So for nearly 90% or even 99% of Power or God Masters, they're going to transform like this. So it's going to go in, and I'll just push this down. So if you don't have a Power Master and you happen to just buy the guy without him, which is very common, you don't need the Power Master. A lot of the toys, you can simply just take like a tool or something and push the piece. So what you're going to do if you don't have him is you're going to push those little black buttons on both sides. And that's really it. That'll disengage the way he has to transform. So a lot of the toys, or at least the Power Masters that I own, are very simple and easy to see. Oh, you don't need the Power Master. Obviously, it helps to have him, just, to complete it and have him with. But if you just want the toy, this guy, and you want to get him for way cheaper, for like $20 instead of like 50, 60, like the one that I have here, it is completely possible just to press those buttons. So don't get discouraged. It's not like the Headmasters where you need the head, or at least it throws off the whole look. So there are these two little tabs on each side that go in. And from what I found is that this one, it's very stiff. So what I like to do is I have a scalpel, but probably if you have a thin something or like an X-Acto knife, what I like to do is I take the non-sharp side, the part that goes inside of the actual handle, and I like to get in there and just unclip it, and he just comes out. So yeah, if you have a scalpel or just like maybe a credit card, maybe, but I just want something stiff to get in there and pull those out, because not even bringing in the risk of like accidentally breaking those tabs off, it is so incredibly hard to pull him out if you don't have like a long fingernail or some sort of tool to pull it out. So just wanted to say that and like throw that out there. So what I like to do is I like to shift the arms back, or what will become the arms back first, and then bring them up, well, the wings and the arms up, like so, like that. Close these up, and they're ratcheted, or they have like indentations in them, so I guess you could display, if you didn't want them out, you can have different options, or even just leave them in. I like them all the way out. So then I like to come back here and just fold that up there and leave it. So now I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. So now you're going to bring down the legs. You can already see his face right there. So now you're just going to leave the wings there, and you'll just bring the arms forward. I guess if you want to display out the wings like that, you can. I like to do that. Focus. I just like to keep them back because, that's just me. And then you slide it back up, or at least I think, that's what I do. I just slide it back up, slide the wings and the arms back up like that, and now I can bring that up just a tiny bit more. So now you come back here to these little gray pieces, and these will be his heels. And you just go right there, and you flip out his toe. Same thing. So now you just bring that down, and there you have Dreadwind. I do not have a Darkwing. I am looking at buying a Darkwing because I have a Dreadwind now, so hopefully soon, don't quote me on soon, but hopefully I will be able to find a Darkwing so I can put them together to make the Dreadwing. So don't know when that'll be, but hopefully I will. So here he is. Here is Dreadwing. And I really, really like his transformation. It is so neat, so interesting, and for how it benefits his plane mode, it doesn't hurt it. Like, he folds himself away nicely. It's cool, interesting the way he transforms, and it doesn't leave a lot of kibble on his plane mode. And for being 1987, the year that the fire cons came out, and like Crankcase and the Trigger cons and all those basically non-articulated guys came out, this guy's pretty good. He nothing in the legs, but that was for a lot of toys at the era. Doesn't have back knees, but you could use that maybe to simulate that he's I don't know, something, if you wanted to. But really, the arms, obviously you could fake this as like a butterfly joint if you wanted to. He has wrist swivel, he has an elbow, and he has a ratcheted shoulder. Obviously it kind of breaks the sculpt a little bit, but for what it's worth, for his era, that's quite a bit of articulation for his era, obviously. And I really, really like I really, really like that. I really like his design. I like his transformation. I love the way his transformation helps his jet mode and how clean it is. Really, the only bad thing is that his head is behind your shoulders and is a little wonky if you stare at it from the side. But really, other than that, the colors are beautiful. I love the transformation. I love the jet mode. I love the design of the bot, and I love the robot. He has shoulders. Doesn't have anything in the legs, but he definitely has shoulders. He has elbows. He has wrists. Those look like those look 5mm, so you could potentially just get a regular old gun. Here had Cyclonus next to me. Hey, there. If you don't want to go spend $20-$30 on each gun on eBay for this guy, just grab a gun. Just grab a gun that you have that, like, you could tear apart the weaponizers from Siege and give them to him. Obviously, he doesn't have any ports on him, but you could give them to him as guns. But all around, I love this guy, especially for $30. I would have easily paid $60 for him if I knew how good he was. And I hope Darkwing is just as good. So yeah, mine is in pretty decent condition. Not considered. Really, only bad thing is the nose cone, but that's really it. Other than that, he's in very good condition. Doesn't have his guns, but man, I couldn't care less. That 5mm port thing, that fixes it all. Just like Punch Counter Punch that I've said, wonderful toy, very good for his time. Just the only bad thing about him is that he is a bunch of money on the aftermarket. If you can spend like $20-$30 for one that doesn't have his Power Master, get it, because he is definitely worth it. If you can get Buster, the Japanese version, get him for a good price. Obviously, he's Japanese exclusive, so he's way more than this guy. Just any version of this mold, the G1 version. Can't speak for Darkwing, but Dreadwind here, just get him. He is a very good toy. If it's Dreadwind or Buster, get him. He's a marvelous toy. He's very fun, very good to play with. And for his era, for the era and the other toys that he came out with, he is a very, very good toy. And he's a good toy to this day. I really, really like him. I highly, highly recommend him. Just watch out for the prices. If you want something to complete, you're going to be shelling out at least 130 US. Obviously, you might be able to find them a little bit cheaper for some places, but that's on eBay. For where I've looked at him. For something like this with this Power Master, no accessories, you're going to be running like 50 to 70. No Power Master, at most like 40. But man, if I knew about him and he was complete, I'd easily pay at least 100. I probably wouldn't pay over 100, but 100, he's worth it. He's a very good toy, very fun, he's definitely worth it. So that's all that I have to say about this guy. So until next time, see ya.